Hello everyone, this is Craig from Evolution Fitness, and here I am on Sunday again, just taking a wee bit of time out just to answer your questions, because that's the kind of guy I am. So I'm just going to dive straight in. I've got 4 questions, so I'll see if I can get through them all. It just depends what kind of time I've got. Okay, so the first one from Jimmy: what's the difference between split squats and lunges? Okay, so lunges, you'd have seen people doing them in the gym. So you basically just stand with your feet kind of shoulder width apart, and then you just take a big step forward, and then bend your knees, your hips, make sure you keep it back nice and straight, down as close to the ground as you can. I mean, some people you'll see can come down with their back leg, their knee will actually touch the ground and back up. Probably okay, but I just prefer just to be just off the ground just a little bit, so that just means your muscles are under tension at all times, so there's no kind of resting at any point of the exercise. So what you can do is you can step forward, down, back up, back to your stand position. Now you can do one leg at a time, or you can alternate legs, so down one side and down the other. You can also do backward lunges as well, which you stand shoulder width apart, and then you're stepping back, same again, straight down, straight back up. So the difference with that and split squats is you're already in that kind of lunge position, so you've got like one foot here and one foot there. Sorry about the demonstrations here, it's just the only way I know I'm kind of explaining it in my head. So basically you're already in that lunge position, and all you're doing is you're just basically squatting down in a position, back up. So with that one, you're more likely just doing one side at a time, then you'll switch over. With that, there's not a lot of difference in the adaptations and the results you'll see on the back of doing them. I think it's just basically kind of personal preference, but whether you prefer to lunge or split squat, and you can do both kind of under tension as well, with weights, either dumbbells, kettlebells, or a barbell on the back. There is a version of split squats you can do where the back foot is elevated, so you've got it on a bench or a box. Now with that one, when you squat down, because your back leg is elevated, your back knee isn't going to touch the ground as easily, and so you're able to get a greater range of motion, so you're able to get a wee bit deeper with that split squat stroke lunge. In fact, it's not a lunge, it's a split squat. So basically what you'll get with that is you'll get probably more glute activation, so you'll find that it's going to work your bum a wee bit more, because your hips, when you flex the hips, you can get more flexion in the hips, and it means you're going to elongate that muscle a wee bit more. And the same with your quads as well, so you're going a wee bit deeper with quads and pushing from a deeper angle. So they're much harder, the ones where your back foot's elevated. They're brutal basically, but with that, the adaptations they don't change slightly, but I think you'll just get into a position where you're seeing maybe results a wee bit kind of quicker with them. You'll probably see more kind of glute activation, glute growth, and you'll probably feel a wee bit stronger in your squats and lunges after doing those sort of split squats. But a standard split squat and a standard lunge, there's not really a great difference between the two. I think it's just personal preference, really, in my opinion. Okay, so question 2. Right. If I get to the rep range of 10 to 12, so this guy, he's got a rep range, so that's the way I tend to train people anyways. I'll give people a rep range where I'll not say, right, you'll do 4 sets of 10 on that, or 4 sets of 12 on that, because what will happen is people just do those reps and just stop at the number I've gave them, and then it's not about exertion anymore. They just get a point where I've done what you told me to do, I'll just stop at that. So somebody might find that, if they do like 10 reps, they might have been able to do like another couple, another 2, 3 more, but because I've given them the rep range, they're basically doing what they're told, and they just stop at that, that number I give them. So if I give them a rep range, then it means then if you do 10, and find you just can't do another one, that's okay. You just try on your next workout to try and maybe get to 11, maybe up to 12. Once you do like 4 sets of 12, and and you feel as if you can do more, you know, again, it's about exertion, you feel as if you can do more, just put the weight up a wee bit. It's called progressive overload, so you're just going to put a bit more each time. So you're talking about maybe 1.2, just depending on what weight you're at. With the particular exercise and the exercise, you can put 1.25 on, you can put 2.5 kilo, you can put maybe put it up by 5, put it up by 10, or whatever. Again, it just depends. So what you'll do is once you get your top end, your rep range, if you're doing that comfortably, then that's when you put a wee bit more on, then you just start again. You know, you can maybe just get to 10 the next time, and then again try and push up to 11, try and push up to 12. Once you can do 12 comfortably again, you put a wee bit more on. So that's how progressive overload works. And I've just answered a question that wasn't asked. So yeah, so that's how that's progressive overload basically. But I'm just digressing because I've just seen that when I say rep range 10 to 12, I just want you understand what the guy's talking about. So he says, if I get to rep range of 10 to 12 on the first 2 sets, then on my third only manage 7, then 4 reps on my last set, what do I do then? So you've got options. I mean, I think with a rep range of 10 to 12, I think this guy's probably going for hypertrophy, in which he's looking for build a wee bit of muscle and try and get, you know, a wee bit of kind of like growth there. So to me, what I would do is I'd just drop the weight, maybe drop the weight for the last 2 sets. So I mean, it might be doing like maybe 12 reps and then struggling to get a 10 on the second one, but just managing it. Then by the time it gets to a third set, he's only managing 7, and then fourth, he's lucky if he gets 4. So yeah, so there is options. So I mean, you can take a longer rest time. I mean, you can take maybe a minute, 2 minutes, see if that works for you. But another option would be just to drop a weight for the first couple of sets and just see if you can get the volume in. I mean, if you listen to Gordon Yates talking, his training method, he calls it high intensity training. You know, his method as well, obviously it works. I mean, you don't be like a multiple Mr. Olympia winner and not know what you're talking about. He's been trained for a long time. So his method tends to be, you know, it's a purely kind of bodybuilding kind of method. Is he'll basically have like 1 or 2 warm-up sets and then 1 absolute all-out set. And then he'll say, you know, if you do like so many sets at, and if it's all out, you don't need to do that exercise again. And I think by the time he gets, when he's working a muscle group, he'll maybe have 1 or 2 warm-up sets, then 1 all out, and then towards the end of the workout, it's just 1 all out on each exercise on that muscle group for the rest of the session. And it's just 1 set, and it's 7 you've got. And then he'll say, there's no point in getting back and doing more because you've already exhausted that muscle and there's nothing more to give. That's fine and it works, but only really if you're either working with a personal trainer or even just a gym buddy. Really, you know, if you've got if you've got a pal with you there, that'll help you do things like kind of forced reps or assisted reps. Because you'll find that when you get to like a certain point in the lift, the concentric motion, which is a positive motion, if you're doing like bicep curls, I'm just pulling up so you can see what I'm doing. If you're doing like bicep curls, you know, you might find that you just can't get it up, but there's always room in the eccentric motion, which is a negative motion, which is the most important when you're trying to build muscle. Because I'm not getting into too much detail because again I'll go off in a different tangent, but basically the negative part is where you do most damage to the fibres within the muscles. It's rebuilding those muscles that creates the muscle growth. So you might not be able to complete a concentric motion, but the eccentric motion, there's still a wee bit there to give. So that's when you get into like forced reps or assisted reps, where somebody will help you get the weight up and then you take it back down. You know, it's the same with if you're bench pressing or chest pressing. You know, if you really struggle to get it forward, you know, somebody can assist you forward and then give you it and you can take it back. So I mean, that's fine. Then you have with that type of training, you have exhausted your muscles and you can't give any more. So it's probably fine to leave it there. But I know this guy has been training by himself, and I know that, you know, if he was to do that, you know, like get to a point where he's only managing like to get like four reps in or whatever, you know, you want to try and get a wee bit more kind of volume in. You want to try and get a wee bit more volume in. So I would just drop the sets and just do, you know, that obviously a wee bit lighter, or like I say, try first a longer rest period, and then go again. Some people are like really tight for time and they don't want to let's spend too long between sets. So in that case, obviously, just make sure you drop your weight. Okay, so question 3. So when do I do my biceps? And again, that's from Jamel. Love that guy. He asks so many questions. That's what I like. I like questions. Keep asking them. So when do biceps? So if he's talking about at what part during his training regime should he do biceps, then, you know, it just depends on your split, really. You know, if you're doing like push, pull and leg split, you know, you'd want to do it in your pull day, your back day, because obviously your biceps assist in that, in any kind of pulling motion. If he's talking about within the workout that he's doing that day, I would tend to do them towards the end. I just don't want to kind of pre-exhaust the biceps before you know, I've done the kind of bigger muscle groups, you know. And again, Dorian Yates has got a different approach. He uses that method kind of quite often, you know, the pre-exhaust kind of method. You know, he'll maybe do biceps first and then he'll do the bigger muscles. But I just think if your biceps give up before you've done enough to activate your back muscles or work your back muscles when you're doing like a lat pull down, for instance, you know, if your biceps give up first, then your back's also not going to get that the workout it needs, get the exertion it needs. So that's just my opinion. That's the way I prefer to train people and train myself. Okay, so the last one I've got. So the last one's quite important to me that I address it, I think. So this wasn't one that was a question that was asked directly to myself. It was one that I overheard a couple of years ago, and I answered it, but I think it's good just to get it out there because I think it's important for a couple of different reasons. So I heard two people I used to work with. One of them says, I mean, I see guys in the gym and they do like one rep and then they just stop. I mean, what's the point in that? And I'm like, well, actually, yeah, there is a point. And I just thought I'd address it because I thought there was a kind of judgmental tone to it. So I think, you know, it's important if you don't understand why people are doing it. You know, you might be curious and you might want to know. That's fine, but I wouldn't just kind of keep it yourself and then try and slag people off for doing it. So one rep. So for doing one rep, so there's a various kind of different reasons why somebody would be doing one reps. I mean, for instance, I mean, it could be just testing. So you can do what you call one rep max testing, in which you're trying to choose a weight or get to a weight that you can lift for one rep safely, with proper form. You know, and when it comes to like the testing part, basically you're just doing that just to kind of test your strength really, so that you can build a workout around it. You know, it's something that trainers will do with their clients. Some clients go away and do it themselves. You know, and I do it with my clients as well. I do it with my clients and I do it for myself personally. So basically what you want to do is you want to be able to work off a percentage of your one rep max basically. So, you know, if you want to kind of just depend on your goals, you know, and what your training methods you're going to use to reach those goals. So like, so if you just want to kind of build up a bit of muscular endurance, you know, if you're going maybe 15, some people do 20 reps, just lightweight, you'd want to be maybe 50 at push 60% your one rep max. If you're wanting to go for muscle growth or hypertrophy, you know, rep range about maybe 10 to 12 reps, probably about 65-70% your one rep max. Now if you're going for strength training, you know, it means 6 to 8 reps, say, you know, is a heavier weight, much heavier weight, then you know you want to be maybe 80, 90 odd percent your 1 rep max for that. So you know there is the reasons for like testing methods kind of thing. Some people just, their thing is they just want to get stronger and they want to reach their personal best. So they might have, you know, they might want to see how much they can lift for maybe 6 reps, you know, maybe 1, 2 reps, you know what I mean, and just try and kind of push up. You know, somebody might be able to kind of bench press 100 kilos for 6 reps, you know, and they want to know what their 1 rep max is as well, you know what I mean. They would just try and kind of push that up a bit, push the weight up a wee bit, and just say, you know, that's me, I can get up to 120, I can get 1 rep out, you know, and their thing is just to do the 1 rep for that. You know, there's an adaptation for it as well. You know, it's not just about kind of meeting your goals, you know, and testing. You know, if you can increase your 1 rep max, you know, obviously you're getting stronger, and it just means that you're kind of helping train your kind of motor unit, your motor units. You know, so your motor unit recruitment becomes a lot better. So a lot of people think, you know, you need to be big and muscular and have loads of muscle, really high muscle mass to lift heavy and not be nice and strong. But it's not always the case. You know, some guys look a wee bit smaller than others, or guys or ladies can look a wee bit kind of smaller than others, but still kind of lift a wee bit heavier, because they can lift a wee bit heavier, although they look a wee bit smaller. But you know, it just means they can kind of train their motor units, you know, a wee bit more effectively. Their motor unit recruitment is a bit better. You know, there's methods for that as well, like kind of ascending pyramids and things. So you know, so there is kind of reasons for it as well. Some people, it's their sport. You know, powerlifting is a big thing. It's getting bigger and bigger the more you know, say fitness industry grows and stuff. You know, and you've got the world's strongest man, all that kind of stuff. You know, so some, you know, if like powerlifters will, you know, be trying to beat kind of world records and stuff, you know, and if that means like lifting a certain weight for 1 rep, then fine, you know what I mean, that's the goal they're working towards. So yeah, so it's important really just to address that there is reasons why, you know, people are doing like obviously like one rep. So yeah, so just try and not judge then. But something that can flip, you know, it flips both ways. A lot of people come to me and saying, and a good what they feel is a good excuse not to get into a gym is they'll tell me, oh, it's full of posers, it's full of these big guys and they're scary and they're so judgmental, and you know, the way you look at you like that, and these guys don't care, that they're just interested, and women they're just interested in, you know, how, you know, their own goals, you know, how they're looking, how they want to perform, you know, and that, you know, you get up and speak to them, a lot of them are like really nice, and they're only kind of too glad to help. If you get up and ask, why are you only doing 1 rep, you know, they'll tell you, and they'll be happy to tell you, because they like talking about fitness. You know what I mean? And people say, oh, I don't get into that gym because, you know, because of posers and all that kind of stuff. But it just shows you it goes the other way. I mean, there's people as well that are in a greater shape as the guys that they think just spend the whole session looking in the mirror. You know what I mean? And they're judging them as well. So it's just important just to be nice to each other. Don't judge people and don't talk the back off of people that are in the gym. You know what I mean? Giving everything they've got to be healthy, look good, feel good, and obviously kind of try and improve their lives and their physiques. So anyway, that's me for today, I think, with the Q&A. So if you like this video, please give me a like. Don't forget to subscribe and also tick the notification bell, just to make sure you don't miss any more informative videos. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell, because you don't want to miss any more kind of informative videos such as this. Okay, again, thanks for watching. I will also put the details of my social media in the outro, so watch till the end. If you want to give me a wee follow on Facebook, Instagram, and I'm now on TikTok and Twitter. Okay, thanks very much for watching, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Take care.